Welcome to Tuesday's Technology Tip. We have with us today Danielle Whitlow. Danielle is a 6th grade social studies teacher from Campobello Grambling School, and Danielle has been using this neat Google tool that she told me about and that she was willing to come and share with us today. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So first of all, before she shares out with us, I want to just ask you a few questions.
Okay.
First of all, what is this tool you've been using? What is it called?
Okay, this is called Google Arts and Culture, and I learned about it a couple of years ago at a Google Summit that we went to at Easley High School, and I was just amazed at all the different things that it offers. It gives you access to museums all over the world and to all of their collections, be it artifacts or artwork. I mean, there's a lot of modern things in there, and there's a lot of ancient things in there.
Okay, so how have you used this with your students?
Okay, I was really excited when I first heard about this and kind of started brainstorming how can I use this. We study ancient civilizations and world cultures, and a lot of times the kids have a hard time seeing these things because they don't have experience with them. This year I've tried to really put a lot of emphasis on disciplinary literacy and kind of thinking like a historian or like someone who had actually used these subjects in a job. And so for this unit, we were looking at being a curator at a museum and kind of analyzing things and see if they fit in our collection. So students were studying ancient Egypt, and they picked a topic to become an expert on, and they had to read several things and brainstorm things that might go with the topic to showcase their learning in a museum.
Neat.
Yeah.
So what type of advice would you give to a teacher who has never used this?
Definitely a couple of things to look at, or give them some kind of play around time with it once you launch it, because there are lots of different things that they can look at and click on. A lot of the museums have a way for you to drop in and go into the museum and see the things on display, which the kids love to do. So you need to build in some time for that. I think it's also really good if they have brainstormed a list of items already so that they can, that when they build their own collection, they kind of have some ideas too. And then also it's great to teach research, because a lot of times those search words don't work. We did death masks and got all kinds of stuff from all over the world. So the kids said, oh, we've got to do Egyptian death masks. And it taught them some really good refining skills.
So you see this as a way to integrate technology and teach a variety of different skills?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great.
Digital literacy, disciplinary literacy, it meets them all.
Great. Well, at this time, we're going to have Miss Whitlow show us all the details, how to actually access this tool and how to use it.
Okay, so let's talk about how to get to Google Arts and Culture. That was pretty easy, right? So this is a free website. As you scroll down, you can kind of see the different collections that are made by different museums and by different people at Google. Over here on the left-hand side, let's go ahead and look at collections. This is where different museums and curators have made their own collection. So you can kind of scroll down and see there's a variety of things, from a lot of art to a lot of history. They also have things called themes. And my group has just been studying ancient Egypt, so this one jumped out at me. You can like it. You can share it. You can even push it out through Google Classroom. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. It lets you go inside and see different museums, which is a tremendous benefit for our students, because a lot of them won't get to go to Museum Island in Berlin. This is a really cool feature called Google Experiments. It kind of blends coding with art and technology, and kids can actually apply to create their own. So it's something kind of cutting edge that Google's doing. Here, if you're an art teacher or you have the need of searching up a certain artist, you've got collections from all over the world. Here's some of the big names. You can do time periods there. You can do different mediums like oil. You can do art movements. I found that really helpful in my history class because when we study the Renaissance, there's a lot of different art movements we can do. There's even historical events and historical figures where they've curated their own collection. So you can see there's a ton of stuff on World War II that you can go down, and they've got embedded stories where they tell certain events and kind of give different unique perspectives. You can even look up historical figures or places. And they have even ancient people like Alexander the Great, and they'll pull up all the different things that have to do with this person. So you could use it as a research tool. You can do places. They link up the places with their Google Maps. So you can go in and kind of do some of the 360 videos. You can do the Google drop-in and some things like that. One of my favorite things to use, let me show you Explore over here. You can do 360 videos. There's art, cameras. This is really neat because you can zoom totally in. You can go to Street View. You can even look up things nearby us. I did not know that there was the Presidential Culinary Museum was this close to us. But what I like to do with my class is get them to see some of the artifacts of these ancient cultures. So with the project that I did, my kids had read several books and brainstormed things. If they were making a museum collection, what would they like to include? So I had a group doing mummies. And so I had them to get more specific than just mummies. So they might have said, I want to put a death mask in my collection. So we could look at the stories, but I encourage them to pull up and look at items. Now, this is a neat feature. You can zoom in, and what I showed the kids is you can get way closer to these artifacts than you ever would at a museum and really see all of, the details up close. It gives you lots of facts. It tells you when it was made. So that was another thing we went over, is you need to look at the date this was created to make sure that it's actually ancient and not a replica. But if you like it, you can click and make a heart of it. And so my students had to do 10. And then once you've made your heart, everything you've liked shows up in your favorites. So you can see I've looked at quite a lot of different things here. You can also make a gallery, make your own collection. So you just click the plus down here, and then you go in and select the ones that you would like to use in your collection. So let's say we like those 4. Then you come here and you're able to give your collection a title. Egyptian mummification artifacts. You can write a description, but you need to pay attention that you can only do 800 characters. And that was a bit of a challenge for some of my students to keep it brief. I had my students, they had to pull out quotes and have a certain number of facts. And then before they can share it with you, this is where it gets a little tricky. They have to make it public. Once they've made it public, it goes into your gallery. And then if you want to share it, there's several different ways. They can still go back in and edit. I've discovered that when they add the link, sometimes that doesn't work. So we just went through and shared through Google Classroom. So let's say you have to choose, you can make your assignment. And you can do it like that, or you can already have the assignment set up and pick which assignment to put it in, but it links straight up into your classroom. So I hope you enjoyed learning about Google Arts and Culture today. There's a lot of possibilities and it's a great resource.
Thank you, Ms. Whitlow, for being with us today and for sharing this wonderful resource. I'm very excited to learn about it myself. This is something new to me, and we are just very appreciative of you sharing.
You're welcome. It's a lot of fun just to go on there and click around and see what they have.
Great. So as always, if you have a tip, a trick you would like to share, please just send me an email. We'd love to have you visit with us and to also share out a great resource that you're using in the area of technology. We hope you have a great week.